So, Michelle,
Yeah.
it's episode 69.
Nice.
I like that you said nice, like you weren't sure. Like, after you saying nice every time the word 69 has been said, and then the one time I'm counting on you for it, you're just like, nice. Is that the way you're gonna be today? You're gonna be difficult? Is that your plan?
I mean, if that's what you want, does that help? Is that help? Is that helpful or
No, no, it's not.
okay?
It looks sunny over at your place. Is it nice out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be 57. It's already
Oh
mid
my,
50s.
I was about to
So
say it's really warm here. It's gonna be like 44. It was like 36 degrees outside in the middle of the night last night, which I thought was very warm.
mm-hmm.
Um, so almost Antarctica warm. We're not
Oh.
talking about Antarctica. So uh but I felt like today is the day that we should circle back around and talk about something really important. Well, no, because I feel like I want one of the reasons I like doing the show and I made the show in the first place is I wanted you to be able to share with people because I think you're a really interesting person. You're fun to be around. You have interesting stories. So I would like you to this week to share with our audience your dumpster bread soup recipe.
But you have to tell like in advance. I don't know what the recipe was.
That's the point. You recipes are in your heart. They're not on paper, unless it's
It's
baking, in which case it's
some
on paper.
some of them are on paper because I don't know them because I only made it once.
Long time ago, we had a conversation about what was the saddest things we ever ate.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe at that time, dumpster bread soup was the champion.
Yes.
Is it
Yeah.
still the champion?
Um, Sorry, my computer disconnected from power. I don't know. I think so. I think so. I mean, there was also the macaroni and cheese with the vanilla almond milk in it, which was pretty bad.
That's even worse because I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, but I prefer almond milk to regular milk.
Hmm.
And making macaroni and cheese with almond milk doesn't work very well anyway.
I actually think it's fine. I've made like regular baked macaroni and cheese with almond milk, and I don't have any issue with
That
it.
might not be as bad because it has a chance to really cook down, but
Hmm.
regular milk creams up when you cook it.
Hmm.
Thickens. That's the word. Almond milk doesn't as much. I mean, I would still make macaroni and cheese with almond milk, but I would use a little splash at a time until it was just wet enough, you know,
Hmm.
rather than using the amount that the recipe said because the recipe expects the milk to congeal a little bit because milk is so gross that it would congeal. But no, so I just like almond milk. Like if I'm gonna eat, it started when I was being vegan for a while, for a long while. And when I was not being vegan, when I was like eating junk food and stuff, I would still like want my donut with almond milk rather than regular milk. I just like almond milk more personally. But with vanilla almond milk, I don't even think vanilla almond milk tastes that good anyway.
Well, again, like it wasn't my choice because I bought it accidentally and then didn't want to go back to the store. Um, and it was not as bad as the dumpster bread soup by any means,
I was
but it
hoping
just
not.
tasted like something was so wrong with it. Like why would this taste like this? Um,
See,
and I tried to like put things in it to make it better and it just didn't.
it just didn't. What did you try to put in it to make it better? Just like
Like
cheese or?
hot sauce and
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Just like trying to cover up the flavor.
didn't work.
No.
See, because my saddest meals were like macaroni and cheese, but with no milk and no butter,
Mm-hmm.
where you're just boiling it and then keeping a little of the water and just mixing the powder in until it's liquid, and then
Mm-hmm.
eating it and knowing that your dad was right the whole time you're eating it. You're just like, well, he may not be in my life, but right now I hear him loud and fucking clear. Uh, so, but no, And then, of course, I guess the only thing sadder than that was the many times that I ate hamburger helper without the hamburger, and often without the milk or butter. So it was just helper, and it didn't help much, to be honest.
I actually feel bad for the hamburger helper because like its whole purpose is to help, and you're just taking that away from it.
I'm taking it away by not being able to afford ground beef.
Yeah, it's saying like this is my purpose, and you're saying I'm just gonna eat you like this.
Dog. Nah, dog. I'm just gonna eat you. I have a box of tuna helper, which I'm either gonna have for dinner today or tomorrow. I like tuna helper, even if it's just slightly better than just making a box of macaroni and cheese and dumping a can of tuna in it. It's not that much different, but it is slightly different and better. Just not much better or different. I actually like that stuff. I find it to be very hearty and satisfying on a cold day.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
But yeah, hamburger helper without the hamburger, that's a lot of sad.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sad. So yeah. Oof. But you do, I mean, this falls into what we were talking about because I'm assuming you ate all of that macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just weird. Like I didn't eat all of the dumpster bread soup, but I did have it for like 4 or 5 days before I was like, that's enough.
This is the other reason I do this as a podcast with you is so that did everybody else hear that? I didn't eat all of it. I just ate it for 4 or 5 days.
Well, I made it, and I used not just dumpster bread. I think there was like, what's that stuff? Tomato sauce in it. I think there was tomato sauce. Yeah, there definitely was, because I was like, this was not what should have been in here. But they told me that's what it should have been. That's what should have been in there. So. And like there was so much of it because there was so much bread in the dumpster. So and then I felt so bad when I threw it out. So
when you threw a portion of it out, you ate it for 5 days.
It might have been like 3. I don't really remember. It was definitely more than 2.
So for people, who may not understand, when you say dumpster bread soup, it's not some, because things have changed since back when that happened. Now dumpster bread sounds like a cool meal they serve at like a hipster restaurant that costs a lot. Like maybe. Like, oh, could I get a order of dumpster bread for the table? And they're like, sure can, $18.99. And you're just like, well, I guess the bread is as expensive as my beer, which is also too expensive. So dumpster bread is not a type of bread per se, so much as the cumulative experiences of the bread, of what it's experienced and where it's been. It's more a nationality than it is. So and again, for those who don't know, I don't think we talk about this a lot on the show. No. You eat out of dumpster when you were younger in particular. I don't know how much you dumpster. You don't talk about dumpstering much these days.
No, I have to like the issue always has been like that means I have to go late to places and I don't like going late to places ever. So like so I don't as much as I used to because I don't really have to. Mm-hmm. As much as I used to. So
la-di-da.
I don't have
Monaco.
I don't have to eat trash all the time. But yeah, no, it was like a really good dumpster too. It was like a bread dumpster where like it was a bakery dumpster or something.
So let's have you break down from there. Let's start from there. Okay.
Yeah.
What types of dumpsters are there?
Like all the what do you mean?
Well, like you said, like this was a really good dumpster. It was a bread dumpster. So like, what are some other common dumpsters?
Supermarket dumpster.
So this is a bread dumpster. So it was just behind like a bakery.
Yeah, it was in Center City. There was just like maybe like 18th Street. I can't really remember what the street was. It was kind of near Rittenhouse Square. There was like an alley and it had all these dumpsters. Like alleys have dumpsters. But yeah, that one in particular was I believe it was a bakery or some kind of, because there was a lot of bread and mostly just bread, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so it wasn't just a regular supermarket. It wasn't like an Aldi that just had loaves of bread.
I remember one time when you came to visit me, you got all excited because there's a famous chocolate company here, and you were hoping to find a legendary chocolate dumpster.
Yeah.
which didn't work out so well.
Yeah, it's okay.
You were like, oh my God, a chocolate dumpster. It just made me wonder if there were just like types of dumpsters. You're like,
yeah,
a zucchini dumpster.
I wish. It's just a dumpster with zucchinis in it.
So first, okay, so we'll move away from that level. Let's go to qualifying the dumpsters in different ways. So you said it was a good dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
What does a good dumpster mean?
There's like a lot of food in it, and the food like looks like it's in okay condition and it's easy to reach, I guess.
And it's not like totally intermingled with other potentially rotten food, right? Like I
mean, I guess, yeah, that it would be nice. Yeah.
Well, I remember I think we went to a Dunkin' Donuts once and got dumpster donuts, which is like, donuts are a really good food to dumpster.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Yeah, and but I noticed that the big thing was that like that all the donuts were in like their own garbage bag.
Yeah, because there's one person throwing them out, so
yeah, which makes it very convenient to get a bag and be like, oh cool, there's no like cup of coffee with 4 cigarettes put out in here too.
Yeah,
it's just donuts. So okay, I just was trying to understand what a good dumpster. You're using these qualifiers, and people don't understand when they think of qualifiers for dumpsters. They think of like municipal dumpster, construction dumpster. They don't think of like good dumpster, bread dumpster, chocolate dumpster. These are not terms that most people, they don't think of that.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm just trying to help them understand you. So it was a good dumpster. It was a bread dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what types of bread you scored? Were they like whole loaves or were they slices?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were like whole loaves, and there were like long ones, and there was one that like had seeds in it. I know because it really, really didn't work in the dumpster bread soup. So I remember it. Yeah. They were like, it was like kind of an artisan kind of like bread.
I mean, it's not like a place that it's not like a bakery is like, yep, we make Wonder bread and we make home style 1 grain and that's it. They're gonna make fancier breads, because if you're gonna go to a store that only sells bread, you're looking for something beyond what you can get at the grocery store, or at least at your average grocery store.
Yeah.
So you go to the dumpster and you score yourself some dumpster bread. How was it? Was it like the place? Was it just like a bag full of loaves of bread, or?
No, they were just in the dumpster.
Yeah,
like,
just loose. Out.
Yeah.
So then what made you, which ones were safe to eat, or did you not care, or do you?
Ones, well, I mean, they were like they had like their little bags, like little, like their little
bread bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in a little bag, like the bread you buy at a store. It's in a bag.
Yeah. So those were safe to eat.
Oh, okay. They were just loose in their bags.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So were they smashed, a lot of them, or anything, or like what? Like,
I don't know.
You don't know. You were there.
I thought they were pretty good. You got to understand, I only went to this bread dumpster like maybe twice.
Well, sure.
Because after the experience trying to like make food out of the bread, I was just like, and also like it wasn't even close to me at all. Like I rode my bike there, which was weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, like none of it.
I remember a time when you were biking. I remember that time.
I never biked that much around Philly because I'm afraid to get hit by a car.
I mean, I'm afraid to get hit by a car even if I'm not riding a bike. Just in general, it's a fear.
No, I'm not. I'm not scared of that. I'm only scared when it's on a bike. So.
But so you score your dumpster bread. So was the intent from the beginning to make bread soup?
I don't think so. I think the intent was, I found out that there was this more or less bread dumpster. So I was like, let me go there and see if there's bread. And then I got so much bread and I was like, but what was I going to do with this bread? So then I was like, can you make something out of bread that's not like a sandwich? And so like I was like kind of using like a French recipe of this bread soup thing, but it like
I just like to imagine that it's like okay, so we've got parsley, we've got celery, we got dumpster bread, we got foie gras, and then we mix it together. You simmer it in a 1968 Bordeaux red wine, and it would just be hilarious if all of the other elements were like expensive things you just paid cash for, but you were like, it's also I can get the most out of this dumpster bread. So
yeah.
Did you eat any of the bread not in soup? Did you also use some to make sandwiches and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did.
And how were they okay?
Yeah, I think they were okay.
The bread was fine?
Yeah.
So then what made the bread soup? Like, I don't know. I've never had bread soup. I don't know anything about bread soup, or really, I don't know why I qualified. I could have just said I don't know anything at all. I'm gonna try to learn something about bread soup.
Oh, okay. On the internet?
No, I'm gonna ask this old Italian woman who happens to be in my hallway. Okay, so it says bread soup is a simple soup that mainly consists of stale bread. Variations exist in many countries, and it is often eaten during Lent. Bread soups are created with brown bread as well as with white bread. The basis of bread soup is traditionally either meat soup or vegetable soup. Less often, it is made with fish broth.
Oh.
To prepare the dish, the bread is either cut into pieces and put directly into the broth, or it is cooked with onions and spices in a broth and then pureed. It is possible to add bacon, egg, and cream. Sometimes it also includes liver sausage or blood sausage. Another common version of the dish is prepared from the broth remaining from the steeping of sausage during home butchering of pigs. The soup is then traditionally seasoned with marjoram. Is that how you say marjoram?
Marjoram?
Marjoram? An Italian variation, milfanti, also uses egg and Parmesan cheese. Some fine variations contain wine. I was right. Other more rustic versions contain malt or beer.
Oh.
So you said yours was a French recipe?
I thought so, but I don't actually know. It could have been Italian. Like it definitely it was definitely like there was red sauce in it, like a pasta sauce.
I mean, that sure sounds Italian. I mean,
yeah. And I do think that there may have been like Parmesan cheese now that I think about it.
I mean, then that sounds pretty Italian.
Yeah, it does.
Let's see. This type is called aquacata. Aquacata. It's a hot broth based bread soup in Italian cuisine, known for being peasant food. I'm just trying to figure out what you did.
Yeah, I mean, it was so long ago, and it's not like I kept the recipe, so I don't know where it came from.
By how awful your experience was, I just assumed it was like forever tattooed to you.
Well, I mean, I remember I can tell you like why it was awful. Like I can tell you a lot of things, but I can't tell you where I found the recipe or what it was called.
Does the word ribollita sound familiar?
Nothing sounds familiar.
It's a hearty porridge made with bread and vegetables.
I don't know.
Did it have a lot of vegetables?
No, I didn't have any vegetables.
I'm sorry.
I was just trying to make something out of basically nothing that I didn't have anything. If I had vegetables, I just would have made soup.
There's Papa al Pomodoro. That's the other one I've heard of. Okay, I don't think we're going to find it in the popular lists of bread soups. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to better understand you.
Like, It's not that it the ingredients were bad. It's just that when you take all the ingredients and you put them with this bread and the bread gets all soft, it's basically some sort of gruel. And
Yeah,
it's just
oh,
like
it's.
really, really
I
unappetizing.
mean, it's definitely gruel. It literally, the description of one of the Italian soups was it said peasant food.
Uh-huh.
It was like the description. So, and
Yeah.
you what? So you're too good for gruel? Is that what you're trying to tell
No,
us?
I ate it.
Guys,
I
guys, did
ate
you hear what
it.
Michelle said? Michelle's too good for gruel.
Oh, don't tell
Michelle's
them.
too good for gruel.
No,
I'm sorry,
stop.
they all know now that you're too
Oh
good for gruel.
man.
Let's get the caviar over here, guys. Don't worry, we'll get you some caviar, something you're used to eating. So, with flavorless gold flecks on top.
Ooh.
But no, so it just what? So what? I mean, but like, so now I'm wondering if there's a definition for gruel. Oh my god, there is. There's a Wikipedia page for gruel.
Well, of course.
Gruel is a food consisting of some type of cereal, such as ground oats, wheat, rye, or rice, boiled in water or milk. It's a thinner version of porridge.
Okay. That sounds okay. Sort of.
So it's just such a sad name, gruel.
Mhm.
You'll eat gruel. So you were just eating it. It was just sad. Like, tell me more.
It just didn't taste very good.
Like,
You
what about it
know?
tasted bad though?
I don't know. Tastes a little like vomit, I guess.
Well, that'll do it. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. That would do it.
Yeah. It was just really, really terrible. And I was just like, wow, like I could have just eaten this bread like bread, or I could have, just had the sauce like sauce. It was a bad idea. It
Yeah,
just didn't
you
work.
had tomato sauce
I guess.
and you
Yeah.
had bread.
Unless I'm wrong. Uh-huh.
So like you could have just heated up the tomato sauce and like dipped the bread in the tomato sauce and ate it. Probably wouldn't have been as bad.
You're right. The thing that makes this all worse is I was just trying to be creative and find something that would be cool and that would be like interesting, and I could go like, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
And I like made it with basically not anything.
You
And
were
it's just like, nope,
Yeah.
nope.
You were trying to live a fun and interesting life, and you really learned a lesson there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It sucks to be poor and try to make stuff out of like stale bread and sauce. It doesn't work. Especially if you're like pretty new at like cooking stuff and you're not. So
Gosh, yeah, this was a really long time ago.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what apartment I was in, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you were at that point. I mean, could it have been the really terrible apartment?
Oh, which one?
The one where you had the roommate?
It could have been, but it was, if it was when she wasn't around for a very long period of time. So it could have been like later, because she did basically just go to California and
Yeah.
I had the apartment.
I just remember she
So-
like disappeared.
Yeah. So it could have been that. It could have also been at the very beginning of like when I had the studio apartment. I'm not sure.
I visited you once there, didn't I? At your studio.
Maybe?
I remember being at one place that was really, really small.
Yeah, I guess that was, yeah.
Because then your apartment before your adventure in home ownership, that was a nice
Mhm.
apartment. I like that
It was
place.
a really nice apartment. Yeah.
It had I just think about this sometimes when I'm in the shower. It had really high ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
And in the bathroom, it had like the ceilings were really high, and then like the top of the ceiling, there's just a little square window.
Yeah, the window.
Yeah. But I every time, because I stayed there like what, almost a half a week or something at one
Mhm.
time, and I just remember taking a shower there one time and just bursting out laughing because I just imagined the window popping open and a giraffe sticking its head in there and just be like, howdy. And I know that that's stupid and random and juvenile. But because it just, there's something about a window being so high and the ceilings being so high in a bathroom, in a shower, that's already weird.
Mhm.
But like, so having just that little window, I just kept thinking like, well, the window's got to be for something. And it's like, yeah, it's for the giraffe who wants to say hi every now and then.
It's for ventilation.
It was fun.
It used to be a bigger window, but then they put the tub there, probably.
So So anyway, so the dumpster bread soup tasted terrible. Were you eating it like twice a day, or were you just eating
Oh
it for
no,
one meal a day?
just for dinner.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was probably eating the bread for like lunch as like peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then eating that for dinner.
Fair enough. I almost feel like you would be less depressed if you had switched it to lunch, so that then at least dinner could be something you vaguely like.
Yeah, but I was like working and stuff, and I
And you didn't want people to see you eating gruel.
no, I like to like eat in my car and hide from people, and I like then I would have to like heat it up maybe, and it'd just be
Do you really think heating it up helps? Maybe eating it cold would have
yeah.
been even better, you know?
I no, I don't really know.
You could have just see you missed out on a whole opportunity. If you it would have been sadder if you'd eaten it cold.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just every now and then I just remember dumpster bread soup
Hmm.
and think of you because you are the king of dumpster bread soup because you're probably the
Oh.
only person who's ever made it.
No, I'm sure other people have
I
made
mean,
it.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Probably the only person who ever made it that poorly.
Yeah, probably. And that wasn't even like the worst or weirdest dumpster experience. That was a pretty normal, uneventful dumpster experience that I ruined by making.
Tell me about some of the worst dumpster experiences then.
One time I went to get bagels at the bagel dumpster
See,
in media.
I'm like, tell me about these specified dumpsters. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then just in like conversation, you're like, bagel dumpster, bread dumpster. Okay. I know bread or bagel dumpsters were like something you were always on the lookout for.
Yeah, because it's really hard to find good bagels. And bagels are actually pretty expensive. And side note, I got the bagels at Wegmans are really expensive and I was really angry. But I bought one just to see what it was like, and it's a real bagel.
Oh, good.
So it's okay that it cost $1. I mean, I don't want to buy it anymore, but it's okay because it's a real bagel.
Do you not want to buy it because you're like, I don't deserve a good bagel? You were mad. You were
Well,
hoping it would be bad so you could eat it.
no, because it cost $1, so I just wanted to see,
Yeah.
and so I could never eat it again. But anyway, so I went to the bagel dumpster in media, and I'd been there before. It's a really good dumpster, and you don't have to go late because they close early because it's bagel shop.
Yeah.
So, I went there, and it was in the summer, and I went to find bagels, and I was finding them, and it smelled really bad. And then I just found maggots, and there were just maggots everywhere, and I was just like,
Everywhere? Like,
they were crawling all over in the dumpster.
oh God.
Lots of them.
Yeah. Oh.
So I didn't get any bagels, and I had to drive to media, so I probably could have just bought a bagel somewhere close by and saved money on gas.
Well, I mean, you know,
Oh, and then I think right after that, I went to the other bagel dumpster, like Manhattan Bagel or whatever is over there. And I tried to find bagels and I couldn't. And I also saw like some people watching me, and it was just like a really bad time.
you're like, I'm fine. I'm just taking bagels out of this dumpster. Helmet. I've got a helmet on. I'm safe.
It's okay.
Helmets.
Well, that would have been good. I was just like, gloves, it's fine. I'm protected. Oh
So,
man, I want to do that now.
so well, what's the I don't want to end this on negatives. What's the best dumpster score ever?
I don't know. But
You're
there
like, I
were
don't make it a
some.
habit of remembering good things.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. I only remember the bad things. But there was a supermarket dumpster. There's an that like was like pretty much every time I went there, I had like really, really good stuff. So like cauliflower and cauliflower, that's all I remember. I just remember there being cauliflower. So that was really good for a long time until I went there too early one time, and then I got followed home. And that was the last time.
Followed home?
Yeah, that was the time that I was like, I went there and I guess they were having a meeting at the supermarket because they close really early because it's a small chain. Um, but I got there and I was like, oh man, they're still in there. So I just was like, it's not a big deal. That was when I was living in the other house. So it's like, it's not that far. I'll just go home. And I was going down whatever the hell it is, McDade Boulevard, and there was a light and there was a car and the light was green and it was just stopped at the light. So I thought, this is what people do in this area sometimes. I'm just going to go around them. And then he immediately started following me. And it's a main road. So I thought maybe he's not following me. Maybe he was just talking to somebody and now he's going again. But so I turned off and onto like I was just turning and going home and he was just behind me the entire time. And so then I was like, well, I'm not going to go home then. So I went down like into this really like smallish neighborhood near where I live, but like not my neighborhood that I just like knew how to circumnavigate. And I just went around and he just continued to follow me. And so then I went back onto whatever that is, Union, and then up. And I was like, cool, where's the police station? And so I was like, because I hadn't lived there for too long yet. So he's following me. And then I, for some reason, turned towards Philly on Baltimore and I was driving. And then like there was a light and he literally like pulled up next to me and I like took out my phone and started dialing 911 and he saw me and he sped off and like through the red light. And I was just like, I don't know what that was.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went home.
And then you went home, yeah. Jeez, yeah. Man.
Yeah.
But the cauliflower was good?
Yeah. Yeah, it was good cauliflower.
So in the end, I mean, it was savings. You made a good savings by getting free cauliflower, and you just had to fight for your life a little bit.
Yeah, but that wasn't even the same time. That time I didn't get anything to eat.
Sorry.
So it was really sad. And then I was scared all night. So
that's why you need a big dog named Bricks that just lives with you.
I know.
All right, you heard Michelle. We got to raise the money to adopt her a large dog named Bricks. Now, This is a challenge because I don't want to name the dog Bricks. It has to already be named Bricks.
Okay.
So that makes it more of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we can do it if we team up with Reddit and we could find you a dog named Bricks. Now, all it has to be is big and named Bricks. So if it's violent or anything, that's fine. Just needs to be named Bricks. In fact, it's probably not going to be friendly. Let's be realistic.
Okay.
Probably going to be a very violent dog.
Yeah.
And it'll smell how afraid you are of it. It'll know the moment it meets you. It'll just know.
Doesn't seem like this is going to help me like at all.
But for the sake of the scientific method, I think we better do it.
Okay.
I mean, it's science, man. We gotta do it.
Okay. All right. I'll trust you.